First in HD, 12 News Daybreak starts now.
The Hardin County DA will seek the death penalty for a man accused in the beating death of a 4-year-old girl.
2.5 million people still without power several days after Hurricane Irene slammed the eastern seaboard. The latest on cleanup.
In just a couple of weeks until the 10th anniversary of 9/11, we're going to show you a fitting memorial created by a sculptor. Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for waking up with us on this Wednesday morning. It's August 31st. I'm Tracy Kennett.
I'm Brian Burns.
And I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. Good morning.
We've got some relief in sight.
Yeah, still looking for those rain showers.
We are looking. Forecast is, a lot of meteorologists are kind of scratching their heads because some of the models are developing something, some aren't. Some develop it here, some develop it there.
You better stick with the one developing.
I know. It's all over the place. So, yeah, we're trying to figure it out. But it looks like we will see at least some rain for the weekend for sure. For today, we'll stay dry. Matter of fact, pinpoint Doppler is not showing any rain out there. Not expecting any to develop for later on this afternoon. We've dropped to 77 right now in Beaumont, also 77 over in Lake Charles, and as well as Houston. 74 in Jasper, 76 in Lufkin. Huntsville's at 79 for this morning. Forecast out the door about 78. 82 at 8 a.m. and then we're looking at 88 at 9 o'clock. Like I said, it should be hot and dry today, and we'll show you that 7-day forecast and try to figure out what's going on coming up in weather in just a few minutes.
What's really going on?
Yep.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Well, Hardin County District Attorney David Sheffield says he will seek the death penalty against Jason De La Cerda in a child beating case. De La Cerda and his girlfriend Amanda Guidry are accused in the death of 4-year-old Brianna Lofton, Guidry's daughter.
It's not yet clear if Sheffield will seek the death penalty against Guidry. Lofton died 2 weeks ago from blunt force trauma to the head. Judge Steve Thompson decided to not offer bond to the couple.
Hardin County Sheriff Ed Kane says Lofton suffered months of torture and abuse before dying August 17th. Sheffield expects to possibly be able to bring the case to trial in just a couple of months. Well, yesterday marked the 1 month anniversary, since 15-year-old Sharon West went missing. Her mother, Sandra West, has enlisted the help of a private investigator now in the search for Sharon. The teen was staying with her friend in the Fannette area. Investigators say, according to cell phone records, Sharon's last known location was at the Sea Breeze soccer field on FM 365 near Galding Road.
Another search for Sharon West was conducted last night, and many members of the community came out to help. Chuck Foreman was hired by Sharon's mother as a private investigator. He says he's been working the case the last couple of days. Foreman says they had a lot of help, including 7 fire departments, a helicopter, horses, and manpower.
The community itself, everybody in the Golden Triangle, everybody's concerned about this child and getting her back home to her mama. Yes, I'm one of them, and I'm doing my part, but there's so many more out there doing their part.
Foreman organized the search for free. He says neighbors around the soccer field gave their permission for their property to be searched as well. Of course, Sharon West is 5 foot 6 inches tall, 115 pounds, with a mole below her left eye and deep red hair with purple hair underneath. If you've seen Sharon, you're asked to call Beaumont Crime Stoppers or the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. He's returning back to the place where his career began.
Very much of a vote of confidence. Like.
More than 40 years ago, Jim Singletary began his career with the Beaumont Police Department, supervising officers in a number of divisions. Yesterday afternoon, Beaumont City Council approved his appointment as Chief of Police. Singletary will leave the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office to replace Frank Coffin, who will retire September 30th.
The council vote to approve Singletary was a unanimous one. In public comment, one Beaumont resident expressed some concerns that it would have been better if someone outside the community had been selected. Singletary says he will work to change that opinion.
This is an excellent police department. We've got a lot of things we got to do to help the citizens get the confidence back that they've lost in us, and that's going to be one of our top concerns. And you're going to see a philosophical change in the department. We're going to be more professional. We're going to stress leadership. I'm going to get the leaders in the department to step up and get the right police officers in the right time. the right positions, and then we're going to go forward.
Singletary will lead a police force of about 300 employees with an annual budget of $31.6 million. He also talked about his goals for the department.
We're going to concentrate on getting back in touch with the citizens. That's our top priority. But we've got some things to do inside our department. We've got to get the morale up. We've got to get a little direction for these guys. This is a great group of police officers, and I have total confidence that we're going to get together and get the goals and objectives and head the right direction.
Singletary and his wife Tammy have been married 28 years and they have one daughter. The Beaumont native is a graduate of Lamar University with a degree in marketing. The manslaughter charge against a 29-year-old Hardin County man has been upgraded now to murder. Clinton West will now be charged with murder in the death of 20-year-old Nicole Jenka. Bond has been set at $1 million.
Jenka died in the hospital in November of last year, one day after prosecutors say she was thrown from a moving vehicle. Authorities say the couple had argued after a night of drinking at the TPO Hunting Club in the Honey Island area. Jenka's mother was in court along with West's loved ones yesterday. A raging wildfire in parts North Texas burned out of control early today, destroying about 30 structures and forcing evacuations, according to a forestry official.
The blaze burning thousands of acres in Palo Pinto County, about 50 miles west of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Up to 7,500 acres may have been burned, according to the spokesperson, who said an official tally would be available later this morning. Fire containment is at or near zero, according to John Nichols with the Texas Forest Service. Some 125 homes were evacuated. Boats were used to ferry some evacuees across Possum Kingdom Lake.
Cleanup and repair work continues along the East Coast, and 2.5 million people are still without electricity. National Guard helicopters started taking food and water into Vermont towns cut off by flood-damaged roads and washed-out bridges Tuesday. About a dozen towns in southern Vermont are inaccessible by land. According to Guard helicopters, special trucks carrying emergency supplies are being taken to towns where roads may be passable for them but not for the public. Early estimates put the damage from Irene at $7 to $10 billion. The death toll is now at 42. If you travel the northbound split of Highway 69 and Interstate 10, you may have noticed that huge crack in the pavement. Well,
the Texas Department of Transportation will soon begin repairs on that crack. But in the meantime, TxDOT says there is no danger to drivers. The crack was caused by some of the dirt foundation slipping along the retaining wall. There's also a less noticeable crack on the southbound side of 69 that will be repaired as well.
It's just more of an aesthetics problem. We've been monitoring it for about a year to find out the cause, what's causing it. We think we found the problem, but again, it's not anything that anybody has to be concerned of, that any overpass is going to come tumbling down.
The project will have minimal impact on drivers. Just expect to see a few lane closures come September. TxDOT does not have an estimated completion date.
Well, he is now out of what was a medically induced coma, and officials say he is sedated but responsive.
We're talking about Warren Jeffs. He's been on a hunger strike since his conviction earlier this month on raping 2 underage girls. They were members of his fundamentalist church and were forced to become his wives. Once he recovers, Jeffs will go back to jail in East Texas. He cannot be eligible for parole until he's 100 years old. Mexican police charging 5 suspects in the arson attack of a casino last week. The fire killed at least 52 people and is considered one of the worst attacks on civilians in Mexico in years.
The governor of the province said the 5 suspected had confessed to their involvement in the killings, and there are 12 others who must also be arrested. All 5 suspects had records of criminal activities and admitted to being members of the Zeta drug cartel, according to the governor. President Felipe Calderon sent hundreds of extra troops to Monterrey after the attack. Actress and activist Daryl Hannah was arrested yesterday during a White House protest of the Keystone XL pipeline that's supposed to run to southeast Texas.
The proposed pipeline would bring crude oil from western Canada through the Dakotas to Port Arthur. Activists fear the 1,800-mile-long pipeline will contaminate land and water resources. Hundreds have been arrested over the past week. Protests are scheduled to continue through Saturday. Coming up on 12 News Daybreak, with the Labor Day holiday on the horizon, both parties are pushing their plans to reduce unemployment.
It's now 5:09 on 12 News HD.
Hot and dry today, but looks like some wet weather is on the way. We'll talk about that coming up.